With the Easter event we got the new Twisted main called Bassy, and then in the actual Christmas time we got Bobette. Now as you might know, the actual Twisted versions differ completely from normal Toon versions radically in both appearance and abilities. And that's why some of the Twisted main mechanics are less known, but in continuation to my previous video, I decided it would be good to do an update to it after the two new Twisted mains were added. Let's have a quick recap of the classical Twisted mains. They can have two kind of abilities. Passive-aggressive ability, which for example affects the entire map, no matter where you are at, and active-aggressive ability that they use when they are chasing you. For example, V is slowing you down when she is chasing you. Astro's passive-aggressive ability is nothing, he doesn't have one, but he has an active ability where he's able to steal progress from machines if a skill check is failed and there are no toons nearby, as well as applying a tier 3 debuff to a specific toon when spotted. Just like Astro, Twisted Shelly applies Confused 1 debuff as passive-aggressive ability. Prior to the update 0.3.0, her debuff was Confused 2. Pebble sees toons from large distances, but he has no auto mechanics. And finally, Sprout has an active ability of leaving a deadly tendril under the detected toon, attacking anyone that steps on it for too long. He doesn't have any passive-aggressive abilities. Now the new main toons Bobette and Bassy come up with new interesting abilities. Let's start with Bobette. She charges towards the location of any picked up item, tape or ornament within a 180 radius. This does not include research capsules. She also has very high speed, only a little slower than Twisted Pebble. And on the other hand, Twisted Bassy places flowers on the floor to slow toons down. These flowers apply slow 2 debuff that's not visible in the game for some reason, so it's an invisible buff. But the debuff is applied if you walk on the flower. Twisted Bassy's mechanic effectively cuts off routes, especially to toons in a chase, as the severe slowness debuff can doom you to being hit. Now what I noticed is that the new Twisted main abilities are focused more on controlling the map itself. Like both Bassy and Bobette has ability activations if you go to the specific area of map or you do something in a specific area of the map. For example, if you pick up an ornament, then Twisted Bobette will activate and come to you. Or if you walk on a flower that can be in many of the areas in the map, then Twisted Bassy's slow debuff will activate on you. The classical Twisted mains don't really have these map control abilities. 3 of the classical Twisted mains rely on applying debuffs on the player. And actually, what's weird is that it's not actually very well known whether Twisted Bassy applies the slow 2 or slow 3 debuff. It's not even placed in the category in the Wikipedia, and different Wikipedia pages tell different things. So maybe someone can test this out. Does Twisted Bassy apply the slow 2 or the slow 3 debuff? My guess is slow 3, since you're super slow if you walk on the flowers. But it's good to confirm. If looking at how dangerous the Twisted mains are, classic versus the new ones are much more dangerous in general. Because Bobette is almost as fast as Pebble and is able to come to any location where ornaments are picked up. And Twisted Bassy's flowers are everywhere. It's very easy to miss them and step on them and then get hit. She's also above average in walking and chasing speed, so she can easily kill anyone when chasing. Therefore, I would rate the new Twisted mains slightly more deadly than the classical Twisted mains. What makes these Twisted main abilities especially dangerous is that when they are used in combination, let's say when Twisted V uses the slow and then Astro uses the stamina regeneration decrease ability, you can't run away. You will just get hit. The same is with Twisted Bassy's flower ability. If you get stuck in the flowers and some fast twisted such as Flutter or Flight sees you, you will get hit. Now when thinking about it, Twisted Shelly is probably weakest of all the main Twisteds. Her ability only decreases the extraction speed of the toons. It has really nothing to do with the combat situations. Twisted Pebble really has no abilities. He just has buffed up detection range and very fast speed, which are really not abilities, they are more like stats, honestly. Now Twisted Bobette is probably the most OP out of all the main toons, since she's only a little slower than Pebble. She's still very fast. Running from her is very difficult. And she will also run to you if you pick up many of the items that can be found on the ground. So Twisted Poppet absolutely king or queen tier main. Then we have Sprout. Sprout is more like a support main. He can spawn tentacles, and those tentacles do block off maps very well. So it makes distracting more difficult because you will have areas of map blocked off by tentacles. So Sprout as well is the kind of Twisted main that you don't want in combination with some other Twisted main. Twisted Sprout's ability really starts to show off once you have multiple Twisteds following you, since you can't use the same rule to distract. Also, one thing worth mentioning is that all the Twisted mains are really large, almost 3 meters tall, so they do look really intimidating, even though they are not that difficult to deal with once you know how their mechanics work. You can easily avoid them. But they sure look intimidating, and that can catch many people off guard and make some new people panic. I would say Twisted mains are really only an issue if the map is very small. If you're playing an Astro map, it's very large, so it's very easy to avoid any Twisted mains. Your main concern would be like Scraps or something that can attack with ranged attack, or something that's really fast like Pebble. Now, I'm not talking about the holiday maps. Those are dangerous, of course, because if you have a Twisted main spawn on it, holiday main can just use the full map to advantage. Like, for example, Passy can plant flowers, Poppet can have ornaments around and stuff like that. And yeah, of course, if the Twisted mains come in combination, then yeah, that's very dangerous as well. They can just stack up their abilities and yeah. Also, one final thing I want to say before we end the video is that I covered a lot of how the debuffs and how the Twisted abilities and how even the Twisted main sounds work. So if you want to become an absolute expert and know everything about Twisted mains, to leave no stone unturned, watch one of these videos. Do you agree or disagree with me? Let me know in the comments, and see you in the next one.